Now, I haven't actually planned for my dog to take part in today's presentation, but there's a definite possibility that will happen, and I hope we'll enjoy that when that moment comes. Now is a really interesting time. You know, we're a few weeks into lockdown, and at the early stages, we saw the markets going all over the shop, and things are going up and down. They're settling, then they're going up and down again, and I think there was a big shock to the system. But I think regardless of what's happening, now is an amazing time for us all to take stock. So I'm going to cover some aspects of communicating with clients, but also some aspects on marketing that we really should be thinking about right now, for things we can actually be doing right now, but also things that we can be planning right now to take us forward when we're all through all this. I'm going to ask a quiz question at the end, so please stick around to the end, and I'll send you a copy of something nice. Just send an email to me with the answer, philip@philipcalvert.com, and I'll pick a winner from those that are correct. So taking stock of our marketing and our communications. Now's a really great time to be thinking about what has actually worked for me over the last 6 months or over the last year or even longer. Very few of us, when we go into work, we have our business and the clients come in, maybe they don't come in, but things kind of tick over, yeah? But it's really, now's a good time to be thinking about what's actually worked. Can I trace back specific clients to specific activities? And equally, we're also under a lot of pressure. We should be trying this, we should be trying this, we should be trying this, and we waste an awful lot of time. So also think about what's not been working for you as well. What's not adding value to the client experience? Because right now, it's all about adding value to the client experience more than anything at all. And it's also about getting sat down with a clean sheet of paper and just crafting a clear vision of what's the best way that we can add value to our clients in the future. Now, this is something I bang on about a lot. I think we have a problem as an industry, as a profession, in that we're all lookalikes. If you go down any high street, one firm of solicitors looks the same as another, one firm of lawyers, one firm of estate agents, they all look the same as another, and one firm of financial advisors looks exactly the same as another. And some might say, well, Phil, that's unfair. We are different from Jones & Co. And I know you are. I've met enough financial advisors over the last 40 years to know that everybody is different. But in this internet age, we all look the same. We're all lookalikes. We are, unlike the lady on the right here, none of us are paid to look and behave like another brand. You know, she's paid by big providers to come and stand on their exhibition stand, and we can all have a selfie with her. We are not paid to be a lookalike. And we've really got to start standing out from the crowd, because whilst social media and the internet is great for us, it can really help to spread our message, we all look the same. So it's an issue we've got to be thinking about. Now, communication with clients right now, more important than ever before. And to me, it's at 3 different levels. It's the human bit. How are you feeling? Talk me through anything that's bothering you. Then there's the value connection that we can make, that we can actually add to their lives at the moment. And in so doing, that helps us to make ourselves more referable for the future. So it might be worth just sort of coming back to this slide, and I will show this slide again a little bit later. So connections in 3 parts: the personal connection, the value connection that you make, and then the marketing connection that results out of that. Now, how we communicate with clients is changing really quite rapidly. I've got an example of one financial advisor who's really up their game over the last 4 weeks, which I want to explore. But let's just have a go back in time and think about, how do we acquire clients as financial advisors? You know, pre-internet, maybe we were at a dinner party and we were sitting around the table having a great time, and the topic of personal finance comes up, and maybe someone puts their hands up and says, oh, you know, I really need to talk to an advisor. I need to get my pension ducks in a row. I want to get a mortgage for my daughter or something like that. Can anybody recommend someone? And someone around the table would inevitably say, well, you want to check out my financial advisor. They're great. Jones & Co, they're fantastic. And we'd write Jones & Co down on the napkin and their phone number, and the next day we'd phone them up. Now, that was pre-internet. It doesn't happen like that anymore. And what happens today is the same question comes up: can anyone recommend a financial advisor? Someone will say, check out Jones & Co, they're awesome. We write Jones & Co on the napkin and their website. And the next day, we don't phone them up. We go online first, and we want to check them out. Do they actually exist? Let's see some photos. Human stuff really, really matters to us. And of course, while we're online, we get distracted. We don't just see Jones & Co.'s website, we'll see somebody else's website, and maybe their website is prettier than ours. Maybe they look nicer. Maybe they seem to have more qualifications. Whilst we all look the same online, it's the little human differences will attract people to us. So in the old days, a recommendation to go and talk to Jones & Co was good enough. We phone them up, Jones & Co gets the business. Today, there's a strong likelihood that Jones & Co won't get the business. In fact, it may even happen that no financial advisor at all gets the business. And it may well be that we spot some article or we spot some online tool that we can use and we think, well, maybe we can sort this issue out ourselves. So I think we've got to a point where we've become grossly over-reliant on referrals. And you know, this even happens on LinkedIn. A lot of people don't realize that LinkedIn is a search engine for experts. Now, maybe I'm looking for a financial advisor. And let's say, for sake of argument, I've done my search on LinkedIn and I've decided Tom's the man for me. So I'm looking at Tom's LinkedIn profile here, but on this screen, I've actually blanked out part of his actual LinkedIn profile. And I don't know if anybody know what it is, but here's a clue. Down the right-hand side on Tom's profile is a list of other financial advisors. And you could argue that with the exception of Tina there, these other financial advisors are his competitors. So it may be that I think I like the look of Tom, he seems to be a financial planner, he's in the right area, but I look down the right hand side and I see a bunch of other people. And down there's Adam at the bottom, he seems to have got letters after his name, maybe he's better than Tom. And he seems to be a chartered financial planner, while Tom is just a financial planner. So it may well be that Adam gets my business or gets my phone call or gets my email. So we need to be thinking that whilst technology is great, are we standing out from the crowd enough? Now, right now is a time where we've absolutely got to be talking to our existing clients. And I don't necessarily think social media is the right approach for this, unless you know that a given client really loves their social media. You know, we should be on the phone. We should be offering Skype and Zoom calls, maybe even do a webinar like this. We can send video messages to people now. There are plug-in tools that you can plug into your email. You can send video messages, even within LinkedIn, you can send video messages to people, audio messages, and guess what? Handwritten notes. If you've got some stamps lying around in the office or in the drawer at home, send them a handwritten note. Do you think that'll make you stand out from the crowd? Of course it will. So just go back to this. It's about making the personal connection, adding some value to that relationship, and that in turn will make you more referable. And although I said we're over reliant on referral, we need to be referable. So important. Now, one financial advisor I saw recently would typically, in the past, they used to do quarterly email newsletters. Beginning of this year, they started doing monthly email newsletters. But in the last few weeks, they've switched to weekly email newsletters. Not great long things, simple short things, talking about what the markets are doing, observations, little tips, tips on working from home. So think about sending a weekly newsletter to people. Also copy in any professional introducers that you've got. Post that newsletter on your website as well. This particular financial advisor, they're also posting their newsletter on their Facebook group, and they're also posting it on LinkedIn. And in terms of adding value to the relationship, one of the things they've been doing is giving people advice on scams. Now, an elderly member of my own family was scammed out of her entire life savings last year, which caused just havoc. And even today, she is still receiving emails that are coming through, getting phone calls, people trying to scam her again. And it's horrific for her. But guess what? Her financial advisor has not been in touch for the last 4 weeks. And she would love to have bounced a few thoughts off him as well. So important that we just add some value, advice on scams, simple things like that. And another thing this financial advisor has been doing as well is doing scenarios within the newsletter. Maybe you've got savings but no income. Think about this. Maybe you've got income but no savings. Think about this. Maybe you've got a little bit of both. Think about this. So scenarios and case studies are a great thing to do when communicating with clients. Other things as well, as Mark was saying earlier, I've seen financial advisors over the last few weeks doing virtual coffee mornings with clients over Zoom. Super simple. There's no selling, there's no financial advisors. It's just the human chit chat, yeah? I saw one doing a quiz night the other day as well, which is fantastic. A weekly Q&A on Skype or Zoom, a book club, and even movie recommendations. So, you know, particularly if you've got vulnerable clients, maybe you've got people who are living on their own, you know, you're not coming over as a salesperson or anything like that. You're just there to add the human touch. And my goodness, when this is done, they will remember you. It's as simple as that. One financial advisor said to me the other day, I'm trying to strike a balance between reaching out to my clients as a good listener, to do my best to ease their concerns, and suggest some important steps that they should consider taking. Simple, simple stuff, no pressure. Now, adding the value again, I think this goes quite deep in many ways. Some human stuff is really important. Just let people talk, ask open questions. Some people just want to talk. Most people are responding very positively. I saw one financial say a client said this to them: no, don't tell me how the portfolio is doing. I don't want to know. How are the children? This is human stuff, but some people just want to talk, yeah? And also improve your listening skills as well. We all know how important it is, but now it's more important than ever before. Listen to the tone of their voice. What are you picking up in there? They will also hear the tone in your voice as well. They'll pick up if you're nervous, if you're scared, if you're worried, if you're not telling them something. It's also been shown that when you do these simple conversations, some people will reveal needs they've not previously told you about. Make sure that you tell them that you're available 24/7. And if you don't already know Zoom, learn it, okay? It's so important. Everybody can be a Zoom expert. Now, in terms of thinking about some marketing as we move forward, you know, there's a lot of marketing people telling you this is what you should be doing. Because we've got the internet, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should have your own course, you should be on Twitter, you should be on YouTube. To me, this is just nonsense. There's no way any of us can commit to doing this, particularly over a long period of time. And what we've got to really start thinking about is focusing on just one or two things. And time again, I get financial advisors say to me, Phil, I see Jones & Co, they're using YouTube. Maybe we'll give that a go. And so, they're using Facebook. Maybe we'll give that a go. And someone else has got a podcast. Maybe we should give that a go. And guess what, guys? Give that a go is not a plan. It's not a strategy. It will never work. This over-reliance on this stuff that the social media technology will do the work. No, it won't. It's nothing to do with technology, but it's everything to do with technique, the human stuff, how you interact and you engage with people. So it's worth just rethinking where we came from with social networking. It used to be called, back in the late 90s and the early 2000s, this stuff was called social networking. And in many ways, we have sacrificed social networking for this noise that is called social media. And if when we use social media, we think about how can we use it as a communication tool rather than a broadcasting tool, then the magic happens. Use it to talk to people rather than talk at people. Just a few thoughts about marketing. I've done a little bit of research along with Michael Kitz's over in the States as to what actually works for financial advisors. So now's the time to be planning for when we get out of this. For top performing financial advisors, the things on the left-hand column seem to be what really, really works well for people, yeah? For those who are either new advisors or needing a little bit of help, the list is similar but slightly subtly different. And look at the bottom there, old school ideas, you know, handwritten letters. These sort of things are really, really powerful. But consistently, the single most effective marketing strategy for financial advisors all around the world, it's in both those columns. Can you guess what it is? Seminars and client events. Proven time and time again to be head and shoulders above any other marketing activity that you can do. So whether you do them live or whether you do them face-to-face, seminars and live events work time and time again with astonishing success rate. Referrals are still important. If you want to really up your game on referrals and do it properly rather than just wait for them to come in through the door, I strongly recommend this book, Get More Referrals Now by Bill Cates. He talks about building a referral mindset. So you're not just waiting for referrals to come in, but you actually proactively go out there and you train your clients how to refer you. Strongly recommend that book, strongly recommend it. Just as we start to wrap up, I just want to look at our websites. We've got leads right under our noses that we don't know there, and they're on our website. People are visiting your website, guys, that are just not converting. I did some research with financial advisors' websites last year. We talked to 100 financial advisors. We found the average number of people who visited their website each month was 197. 197. But most financial advisors had no idea about this. They didn't know their website numbers. And I'm sure you'll get a copy of this slide presentation or the video, but these are the things you actually need to know. So either do it yourself or find out. But there's one other thing that you need to know, and that's called the bounce rate. It's the percentage of people who arrive on your website and bounce straight off again. Without looking at a second page. Now, if you've got a bounce rate of 25% or lower, that's actually quite good. So even losing a quarter of your visitors is quite good. But the average bounce rate for financial advisors is over 50%. And the reason for this is you've got way too much content on your homepage. We counted, on average, 34 clickable links on these websites on the homepage alone. And all that just does is create confusion for people. It goes back to the time when we first started having websites as financial advisors, where we were told we needed to make our website sticky. We needed to put enough content to hold people on. But today, all that does is confuse people. And it's literally, you're doing all this great work on social media, people have arrived on your website and it's like hitting a brick wall. We're given so many choices of things to do that people just bounce off. So if you were thinking about doing something during lockdown, is revisit your website and start stripping it back. Because at the moment, your websites are generally no better than standing down the shopping mall, dishing out leaflets in the hope that someone will actually want to get in touch with you. It just won't happen. Last couple of slides, I want to go back to this human thing as well. If you can get video testimonials from your client, these are just incredibly powerful. Your bounce rate will drop through the floor. And here's a great example, Jones Hill in Wiltshire. Some simple videos of clients just talking about the experience more than anything else. And most of these people are talking about human things. They were saying, Brian at Jones Hill, lovely guy. He wasn't condescending. He felt like a friend. We felt like we could trust him. And after you've watched these videos as somebody who might want to engage with Jones Hill, there's no way you're going to go with any other financial advice firm. So get some video testimonials. Obviously you can't do them now. Maybe you could do them over Zoom or Skype, but plan that out, get that done, put them on your website. So, quiz question to end. What is the single most effective marketing and communication technique for financial advisors? I mentioned it, it was in those two lists there. What's the single most effective one? Please drop me a line, and out of the correct answers, I'll send you a copy of my book, Marketing for Financial Advisors. There's almost 400 pages of marketing ideas for financial advisors in there. So I hope you found that useful. Thank you very much indeed. And back to you guys.